Good evening. I'm Patricia Vallone with a CTV News update. For the first time in U.S. history, a former president has been arraigned on criminal charges. This was the scene in New York City this afternoon as Donald Trump's motorcade made its way to the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. After his arrival, the former president walked into the facility to face criminal charges. The morning included clashes between Trump supporters and his critics. Inside the court, Trump was fingerprinted and booked. Also, the indictment was to be unsealed, and the former president entered a plea of not guilty to 34 felony charges. This case surrounds alleged hush money payments to a former porn star. Following the hearing, the former president is expected to fly back to Florida, where he says he will deliver remarks tonight. Well, the ex-chief of staff for former Governor Larry Hogan is dead after a 3-week manhunt. Roy McGrath died of injuries sustained as he was captured by law enforcement in Tennessee last night. It's not clear if the injuries were self-inflicted or occurred in an exchange with law enforcement. But the U.S. Marshals Service says that the FBI is reviewing an agent-involved shooting in connection with McGrath's capture. The search for McGrath began on March 13th when he failed to show for his federal trial on fraud charges. A reward of up to $20,000 was offered for his capture by federal authorities. A fire rips through a Largo apartment complex, displacing nearly 20 families. Firefighters were alerted to an apartment fire at 51 Harry S. Truman Drive about 7 last night. When crews arrived, they found the 3rd floor and the roof of the building completely engulfed in flames. Investigators say sage was left burning unattended on a balcony and sparked the blaze. Fire officials have this message for county residents tonight.
Never leave an open flame unattended. We've had several fires this year that were caused by an open flame, whether it be candles, whether it be a lighter, whether it be unattended smoking materials, whatever it may be. Make sure to extinguish them, put them in water. Firefighters did a phenomenal job on this incident. To have a fire this well advanced, as the roof started to collapse really early on, firefighters were actively engaged in fighting the fire. We hit the evacuation tones. We pulled firefighters out, and they went to an exterior position to fight the fire from the outside, as well as protecting the exposure building. So we're really proud of the effort of our firefighters.
No one was hurt in the incident. The American Red Cross is helping the displaced residents. Meantime, fire officials remind residents that they should never go back into a burning building. Well, a resolution aimed at lifting county residents out of poverty is one step closer to fruition. The County Council voted to move CR 18 out of the Health and Human Services Committee. The bill would create a basic income pilot program for up to 200 families. It would provide those selected with up to $800 a month for 2 years.
It means so much because I think this is really an opportunity for people to catch their breath. It really allows people to, one, relieve mental stress, have the opportunity to go back to school, have the opportunity to have better access to health care, food options, even start your own business. The data shows that adding an influx of resources can change a family's trajectory.
And the next step is a public hearing before a final vote. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Patricia Vallone. Still ahead, Governor Wes Moore presents a new nominee for his cabinet. We'll have the details after the break.
Distracted driving is dangerous, but some people just can't seem to help themselves. There's the steering wheel propper, the sneak-a-peeker, the fast roller, the nightlighter. And it's not long until they become the fender benderer, the got-a-ticketer, the veering off the road, the driver who kills someone. Enough with the phones already. Just put them down.
Welcome back. Well, it was 55 years ago today that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. On April 4th, 1968, the 39-year-old civil rights leader was shot and killed while standing on a balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. His murder was followed by a wave of rioting in cities across the country, including Washington, D.C. James Earl Ray later pleaded guilty to assassinating King, then spent the rest of his life claiming he'd been the victim of a setup. Governor Wes Moore taps Paul Montero, a former director of AmeriCorps, to lead a new cabinet department to increase public service among young adults in Maryland. If confirmed by the Senate, Montero would become the first secretary of the new Department of Service and Civic Innovation. The office will implement the country's first state-run service year program for high school students. Moore held a press conference Monday to introduce Montero.
Nobody is more equipped to take on that enormous task than Paul. Paul's a problem solver. He's a bridge builder. He's a peacemaker. And if confirmed by the Senate, Paul will use those talents to build a state that serves.
Our aim is to build an authentic, substantive, and challenging experience for our graduates to obtain invaluable hard and soft skills, financial support to pursue higher education, even as they use the year to discern where their interests and talents are best developed and hopefully find a sense of greater purpose for their lives.
And Montero has previously served as a member of the Prince George's County Board of Education. Most recently, he was the director of the Community Relations Service at the Department of Justice. Well, here are the latest COVID-19 numbers from the state, which indicate an easing of the positivity rate and hospitalizations. According to Health Department figures released today, 266 people have tested positive for the disease. The county's positivity rate is at 3.79%. 12 people have died of COVID over the past 24 hours. 192 people are hospitalized. Well, Governor Wes Moore announces major offshore wind energy initiatives to move Maryland toward achieving its 100% clean energy goal by 2035. Moore wants to quadruple the state's offshore wind capacity to 8.5 gigawatts. That would produce enough electricity to power nearly 3 million homes and businesses. Nancy Sopko with Baltimore-based U.S. Wind tells CTV News what it means for Maryland.
Is an incredible visionary announcement that the governor has made. It is history making, and Maryland now surpasses our neighbors like Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware in our commitment to offshore wind development. The state is now right on the precipice, poised to accept all the economic activity, job creation that is associated with offshore wind development.
And U.S. Wind is currently building Maryland's first permanent offshore component factory called Sparrows Point Steel in Baltimore. The company says the factory will serve the entire U.S. market and secure a major role for the state in the rapidly growing offshore wind industry. Prince George's police arrest 6 juveniles in connection with 2 recent carjacking cases. The incidents happened on March 27th and April 2nd. These were the ghost guns that were seized from the suspects. In the first incident, police located a stolen car in Forestville and pulled it over. Inside were 4 15-year-olds who police say carjacked their victim at gunpoint. A ghost gun was recovered. And the second incident was an attempted carjacking in District Heights. A 16 and 17-year-old were taken into custody while fleeing the scene. Investigators say each was armed with a ghost gun. So far this year, 32 minors and 19 adults have been charged with carjacking crimes. And stay right where you are. Simon Buggs has today's sports coming up.
And coming up soon, I'll be talking about some local and professional baseball games that are played today, how a new champion was crowned marking the end of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and how a former head coach is returning to Maryland. Stay right there, you don't want to miss it.
It seems like leaders were destined to be so. Born with confidence, blessed with talent, graced with wisdom. That's how they might seem, but it's not how they're made. Leadership takes practice and discipline and critical thinking. It's not a gift, it's a choice. And it starts here. Decide to lead as an Army officer.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, models are gearing up to take the stage for a fashion show in College Park this weekend. The third annual African Fashion Week North America is set for this Saturday, April 8th. The event will feature the best of African art, food, fashion, and culture. The fashion show will feature 12 designers showcasing their work. This year, the theme, which is related to mental health, is called Passing the Torch to Immigrant African Youth.
I think it's the stigma of mental health in our community. Is almost like you're deemed crazy, or they're, you have to go to a psych ward or see a therapist, and that's not necessarily welcome. But I think when we look at mental health, everybody deals with something that requires them to have wellness of mind, wellness of frame. And I think for us, we want to focus on the youth and make sure that they have a voice and their voices are heard.
The event will take place at the University of Maryland Samuel Riggs Alumni Center from 6 p.m. to 10.
Hey everybody, it's time for your Tuesday Sports Page. We'll start with some local baseball. The Riverdale Baptist School's junior varsity baseball team took the diamond yesterday. They blew out Flowers High School 20-1. The Crusaders are now 6-2-1 and will play their next game at home against Southern Maryland Christian Academy tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Switching gears to the MLB, the Baltimore Orioles also played yesterday, matching up against the Texas Rangers. They will win their second game of the season, beating the Rangers in a low-scoring game 2-0. The Birds are now 2-2 and will face the Rangers again tonight at 8:05. Moving on to the Nationals, they weren't able to come away with a win yesterday, losing to the Tampa Bay Rays 6-2. The Nats wouldn't score their first run until the 7th inning, and by then it was too late for a comeback. The Nats have struggled to start the year as they are 1-3. Hopefully they can avoid losing back-to-back games as they face off against the Rays again tonight at 7:05. Moving on to college hoops, a champion was crowned yesterday as the UConn men's basketball team defeated San Diego State in the championship game of March Madness.
It means a lot. Great credit to the coaches and my teammates. The vision we had when I came here was to win a national championship, make it to the Final Four and win a national championship. And I came here just to do that, and just real blessed and thankful for these guys around me.
I'm just mostly proud of the way that we've done it and with the type of people that we've done it, the way we, recruit young players, develop young players. We do it without cheating. We do it without lying. It's truly been building a program and a culture. I'm lucky. I have the best coaching staff in the country that attracts these incredible, types of players.
And lastly, former DeMatha head coach Mike Jones will be returning to Maryland as he has accepted an assistant role with the UMD men's basketball team. Jones previously served as an assistant at Virginia Tech, where he helped to recruit numerous local players. And during his time at DeMatha from 2002 to 2021, Jones compiled a 511-119 record. And that is your Tuesday Sports Page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
And now let's get a quick check on our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy, lows around 59. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high near 83. Thursday, cloudy with afternoon showers expected throughout the area. Daytime temps reach a high of 83. And Friday, partly sunny, highs near 62. Now for your community calendar, the Bowie Community Center presents All My Sons. Director Fred Nelson brings the classic Arthur Miller drama to stage. Tickets are on sale now. The show runs until April 23rd. For more information, visit bctheater.com. That wraps up our newscast for this Tuesday. As we leave you tonight, we remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on the anniversary of his death.
And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now, because I've been to the mountaintop.